What's up, guys? Fens the Spook coming at you for another midnight meeting. Been a little while, sorry about that. Kind of went on hiatus there for about a week, and right about the time I felt like, making a new video, I got a little bit sick. So, apologies. I intend to keep the video count up, high, like maybe once a week, twice a week. No promises, of course, but yeah, I certainly didn't mean to go this long, so sorry about that. The good news is, that means I have a tremendous amount of stuff to go over. Probably going to take 2 or 3 videos to get through it all. I've been going on a bit of a binge. I was going to go to a flea market type, well, it's not really a flea market, but I don't know, I guess you could call it a flea market. It's just one of those really big areas where a lot of people come out. I mean, it's a flea market, but anyway, it's a little bit bigger and kind of views itself higher end than a flea market, I think. But anyway, a buddy of mine and I were going to go. It started raining. We've been getting a lot of rain down here in the south, and we just didn't. And so I kind of took the money I probably would have spent there, kind of went on eBay, got a couple lucky bids, which got my blood boiling, and then I ended up buying a bunch of crap. So I got tons of stuff to show you guys. It's going to be a cool couple videos coming up, so check that out. Hopefully I'll be doing them pretty quick. I don't plan to put too much time in between these. But anyway, let's get right to it. This is the first stuff. I ordered these probably about 3 weeks ago. Everything you see here kind of was ordered, early September, late August. I'll be putting the sellers' names in the description and little pop-ups when I get to their stuff, if it'd be somebody I recommend. I typically won't even really say anything if it was somebody who I don't recommend. I'm not really going to get into dissing people on YouTube. But so anyway, here we go. The first thing up is not really a comic. I'm going to break from my formula a little bit and go with something a little different here. This is, see if I can get this a little bit closer. This is a DVD, or I guess you call it DVD-ROM to be a total nerd, right? It is a collection of the Smith & Street Shadow magazines. It is I shouldn't say all, but I think there's like 300 or something on there. They're on, ebook format. They went right onto my tablet. It was cool. They went right into ebook, like I said, into Kindle. It wasn't some kind of like weird jack program I had to use. Although it does come with a little program you have to use to like transfer them, but the actual program that you actually read them on is just, like I said, whatever your ebook reader is. They're the old magazines from like the 20s and 30s. I think these are. There might be some from the 20s. They're kind of like novels, basically. I mean, they're called magazines, but they're just stories. We talked about the Shadow in another video, but I mean, my God, these Shadow magazines go for like minimum of $30 to $40 in kind of bad shape, like when they're trashed out. I've actually haven't even bought any because I just can't make myself pay the price. There's a lot of other stuff I'm looking to get right now, and I'd like some early Shadow, Street, and Smith magazines. I don't want to pay the price right now. But this was a really cool way to do it. So it's a DVD. It just has all 300 something, or a bunch of them anyway. Again, like I said, I don't know if it's all of them, of the Shadow magazines. And to boot, it has like 200 something Shadow radio dramas, which I bought a few of those off Audible, but I won't be buying any more. Because basically they're all on this DVD here. This was an amazing purchase. This is why I kind of featured this. I mean, I buy a lot of stuff off eBay that's not comics, but I usually won't really kind of show it to you guys because that's not really what this channel's about. But this was just nuts. Let me flip it over to the back here. So literally, again, it's like 300 something shadow novels from the 30s and 40s. Just totally transcribed right there with covers, which is really cool. And, also, like I said, it has all the Shadow radio dramas. Like I said, I did a video on the Shadow. I don't want to go off too much here. I'm just really excited about this. This was a great deal. I think the guy's name was Mod Moon. I hope I'm not remembering that wrong. But really cool dude. Apparently him and his buddies got together and transcribed these. They owned all the Shadow magazines or had all these. And, they're all public domain, so I suppose nobody really owns them, so that's why there's nothing illegal about this. This is not some kind of like torrented, hey, don't peek. This is not a torrented thing or anything like that. It's just, but anyway, I've said enough. I'm kind of rambling here, but it's really good stuff. Good DVD collection. He's got a bunch of other collections like Weird Tales magazines, and what was the other one? Doc Savage. He has a whole set of the Doc Savage novels and stuff. So check him out if that seems up your alley. I'll definitely be back. Cool stuff at this dude's place. So kind of interesting find there. The next stuff came from, not even sure. I'm not even sure that I remember the actual name here, and I got these backwards. Son of a gun. There you go. There we go. These just came from an auction, or no, this was a buyout. I offered the guy, this was a buyout here. I ended up doing a kind of buy it now kind of situation. These are chilling adventures in sorcery as told by Sabrina. I guess a little quick backstory here. Got a lot to go through. I don't want to ramble too long, but the new Archie horror series that's been going on is probably some of the best stuff out there. I really don't like modern comics too much, but the Archie horror stuff is just out of control good. You know, it's Archie Afterlife, and recently they came out with this other comic called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Like I said, it's real horror. It's not, you know, it's the Archie world or whatever, but it's, ooh, that glare is ridiculous. It's the Archie world or whatever, but it's real dark. You know, people are dying. Sabrina is a real witch, not just like this funny little teenage witch or whatever. So it kind of got me interested in the Archie universe. I'm not going to lie. It's a little silly, something I really didn't get into before. But so I've actually been buying some old Archie stuff. Mostly the focus around Sabrina. I'm kind of interested in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't know why. It's just, I've kind of, like, you can probably figure out, I'm kind of into the kids kind of art a little bit. Like, you know, like the Bob Oxner stuff with the Angel and the Ape and, you know, stuff like that. I kind of like this style of art a lot. It's real cool, real cartoony, real nostalgic for me. I'm not old enough to actually been around for these, but, you know, again, this is the kind of stuff I always liked as a kid. So, yeah, so this is Chilling Tales of Adventures in Sorcery, as told by Sabrina #1. What's interesting about this line is that it switches over on the third run to just, I think, Chilling Adventures in Sorcery, no Sabrina, and it changes to Red Circle Horror for the publisher, or maybe the title, I forget, because I don't have any more of these. But it switches off right after 1 and 2. It changes modes like completely. It turns into kind of like a Charlton horror type book, like a kind of a, I don't say knockoff, but kind of, you know, a not so great horror book. So, I mean, some of them are okay. I really shouldn't knock it. I haven't read them all, but I'm really not interested in the others. I might get them if I can find them in like dollar bins or something, but it's a totally different book. I mean, the book basically just shifts gears completely from this kind of kid-friendly Archie horror with a little bit of, you know, it's a little bit serious. I mean, it's kind of like Scooby-Doo, I guess you could say, that kind of range here, to something that's just really just a straight horror book. So I find this a little more interesting. There's a lot of horror books out there. We'll do tons of videos on those as time goes by, but I thought these were real cool. Here's #2. Showing, again, see, as told by Sabrina. Notice she's not, oops, just mangled that. She's not even on the cover on that one. I don't know if this was a lack of success, like the Sabrina was not really selling it, or they just were kind of like, well, you know, we don't want another, let me let you get a look at #2 a little bit longer there. Whether they, you know, said, well, we don't want it to be another Archie book, we really kind of want to branch out and try real horror and kind of drop the Sabrina thing. I don't know. I don't really know what the story is with it, but like I said, this book, Chilling Adventures in Sorcery, just changes gears right after these first two, which is kind of cool, I think. I think that's really interesting history, you know, and I think most people probably think the later books are cooler, which is, you know, another reason I kind of like these first two. But again, just the Archie style art. Nothing scary in here. It's all kind of silly and fun, but cool pickups. Really nice grade. The guy said these were very fine. It's like 8.0s. The first one might be a little bit lower than that, maybe like a 7.5, but the #2 is definitely an 8. Well, I don't say definitely. It looks like an 8 to me. I'm real happy with these anyway. Good price. Kind of some, I don't want to say rare books, but they're not all over the place. They're kind of a special little purchase there. This book is really cool. This is something special. This was by a guy. I don't want to say his eBay store name because I'm probably saying it wrong. I'll just pop up a little, you know, annotation here. This dude I bought from several times. I highly recommend this guy. You know, these other people that I'm putting their names up, like, you know, I dealt with them once. I had a good transaction. I'll recommend him. This guy here who sold me this comic, dealt with him twice now. I'll be back a third time, I'm sure. He's got good prices. Dude will work with you. If, you know, he's a reasonable guy, and he's got good stuff. His grading is spot on. So this is GI Combat 138. I've been looking for this book for a little while. I couldn't really find it in the grade I wanted for the price that I wanted. It's what it is it's the first appearance of the Losers. We talked about the Losers in a different video, but this is the first time they're all together. It's not the first appearance of any of the Losers, if that makes sense. Captain Storm, Gunner and Sarge, Johnny, wow, can't even remember. It's Johnny, I want to say Johnny Johnny Cloud, that's what it is. Johnny Cloud, and I did not have to read that off the front there. Thank you very much. I remembered it raw. But anyway, it's not their first appearance. They all appear in different books, you know, Star Spangled War and stuff like that. So I don't have the first appearance of any of the individual guys, but this is the first time they're all together. So this is, you know, kind of like similar to first JLA. It's not the first appearance of the people in the JLA, but it's the first time the team gets together. So this is the first Losers. I don't think they do another Losers book in GI Combat. If I'm not mistaken, it switches over to Our Fighting Forces almost immediately. It's also got a Haunted Tank story, which is always cool. Surprisingly, I'm not really into the Haunted Tank. I think maybe just because it's too expensive to go after the early Haunted Tank stuff. And I'm kind of just, you know, if I can't have it, I'm not interested in it kind of thing. But, yeah, Joe Kubert cover. This is, the guy sold it as a 6.5, a fine plus. I would say it's a fine plus or more. But that's kind of the way this dude operates. Every time I get his books, his grading is just spot on, man. It's always the grade he said it is or better. It's a sharp looking book, a nice early war book here. Again, first Losers. So something real cool for me. I might even get this CGC'd. I'm kind of on the fence about it. If it came back at below a 7, I'd probably be disappointed. I don't really want things CGC'd below 7, but anyway, here we go. Rambling, moving on. First Losers, GI Combat 138. The next few are some Madhouse comics I got. Again, this is kind of in that Archie vein, so if you think that's stupid, you know, I understand. Believe me, I would have probably said the same thing like 6 months ago, but the Madhouse are kind of a little different. The Madhouse are like robot, sci-fi, horror covers, like monsters and stuff. They're kind of cool. Not all of them. Some of them are just like, you know, whatever, just, you know, kind of Archie and the gang, but there's a couple cool ones I got here in a little lot. I won these at an auction, so here's like a nice little cool robot cover. Here's one that's a nice one. I like the Sabrina covers. That's Sabrina's Aunt Hilda. Got a vampire in the background. Again, this is the kind of stuff I liked as a kid. I was always picking up the Cracked, if you know what Cracked is, like the Mad Magazine kind of, I don't want to say rip-off, but maybe sister magazine to Mad was Cracked, and they have these monster party issues that were just full of monsters and witches and stuff, and I just love that stuff, and I still do. So, nice, cool, kind of Archie, I don't want to say horror. It's definitely not horror, but Archie monster covers maybe. Nice vampires there. You know, these are cool. They're fun. They're from the 70s. You know, they're Bronze Age. They're interesting. I sound like I'm defending it. I probably am a little bit. And there's a C-3PO and R2-D2. Oh, thank God I remember them. I'm actually not a Star Wars fan at all. Please don't burn me to the ground, but I'm just not into sci-fi that much. But I thought it was a cool cover. It came with a lot. So there's the Madhouses. They're all in like the 110, 120 level number in terms of that. So they're kind of not early, but they're not late. They're cool. You know, they're cool. Again, sorry about that glare, guys. I thought I had this fixed, but maybe not. This one here is something a little bit special. This is Weird Tales. This is a magazine, a pulp magazine from the 1930s, 1940s that was where H.P. Lovecraft first appeared. His stuff first, you know, was published. You know, they gained, you know, wide notoriety. I'm not saying it was the first place he was ever published, but this is where H.P. Lovecraft came to fame. There's a lot of the early Conans and stuff, I think, are in this, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but they appeared in the same kind of stuff, the pulps. So this is a really old pulp. This is from I should have looked this up before I started the video. 39? 49? I can't remember. 1939 or 1949, which is a big deal. I mean, post-World War II and pre-World War II are quite a bit, you know, bit different in terms of collecting, but I'm not going to say much about this. I'm going to wrap this video up here in just a second because it's about to hit the 15-minute mark. We're going to have to break here before I get to that stuff in the back, but I'm going to do an entire video on this particular magazine. It has some of the most insane art I've ever seen on the inside. It's not quite there, but it's getting up to 100 years old. This is probably one of my favorite things I own. It wasn't very expensive. I kind of got it at a sweet deal on an auction. And it's got a cool witch cover. There's a cool witch illustration inside. Just real bang up. But anyway, I'm going to end the video right there. I'll be doing a part 2 here coming up with it. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Check out the next video. And I'll see you soon.